So if you've been sleeping under a rock for whatever reason, and I'd have to ask you, like, why are you doing that? A few days ago, the movie Shadow DLC came out for Sonic X Shadow Generations, and I decided to play it because what else am I doing? And for what it is, it's a pretty fun DLC. It only has one act and 2 extra little challenges you can do, but it was able to keep me entertained for the very short runtime, so I've decided I just wanted to go over it today. Probably not for long because there's not too much to get into. But to start off, this DLC doesn't feel too out of place with Shadow Generations. I can bet that this DLC takes place sometime after you're done with Space Colony Arc, and pacing wise I think it would fit in. You could say that it takes place anytime after any of the levels, but I think Space Colony Arc makes a lot of sense. But our favorite Shadow Hedgehog ends up in a completely different world, taking on a new form and voice, but he still does have a few of his abilities at hand. I gotta say, I do like Keanu as Shadow. I have no idea how much money Sega had to pay this guy to voice him, but it was worth it. He oddly fits the role pretty well, but there is a somewhat story being told with the DLC, kinda, and I do appreciate what it tries to do. Shadow has one simple goal, and that is to get out of the world that he came into, and that's what he does. But along the way, there are some obstacles in Shadow's way, so he has to get through all of them, even Gun. There are a few neat lines thrown in there. The one that is probably going to stick out to a lot of people is Shadow bringing up Maria briefly. I'm not gonna lie, this line somewhat adds to the game's story a little bit. But let's get into the actual level itself. You're in Tokyo City, and you'll be going around the city, grinding on rails to go up some subways, which I can't lie is a cool detail, going into an underground system, which is probably a subway system, taking a quick ride as you take down a gun soldier, and this is probably the first time in a while where we actually get to see them in a Sonic game again. You will climb your way up a tower where I kinda struggled to avoid the missiles. I'll say it now, sometimes it's a little hard to navigate around this level, but that could just be a skill issue. But it doesn't mean I dislike it or anything. It's overall a fun and engaging level, and there are some sections I do like from it. I dig the overall aesthetic of the subway area, and I do like the section where you ride on a missile. And once you're done, you do get a little line delivery from Shadow. Why didn't we have this in the main game when we were getting ranks? But surprisingly, right after it, there's an ending cutscene where Shadow escapes and says he'll come back. I was definitely not expecting that, but it's a nice way to wrap everything up. But oh wait, you are able to get some collectibles. Really all it is are some pictures of the Shadow model, and I can't lie, it looks pretty nice. It's even animated pretty well too. It's a decent enough reward to keep you coming back to play the level over and over again. I'm not really going to get into these extra challenges. They're fun, they're enjoyable, and they're not particularly too hard to get through. One of them has you bouncing on some balloons to get to the goal, and one has you collecting some rings. If you don't really have anything to do, you can just sit down and play this DLC if you're just bored. It's a fun and engaging time, even if there's a few tiny things in your way, and I definitely got more out of it from Episode Shadow, but you can say that about the entire game. If you've played this, let me know what you think about it. So I'll see you guys next time, and bye.